These are the three types of algorithms: supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement learning. First, we clearly discuss supervised learning. First, we will discuss supervised learning concept. What is mean by supervised learning? In simple terms, I have a set of data. I have some set of data. Now, this set of data contains some inputs, and for this input, this is output. I already know for this input, this is the output we have produced. Now, I am designing a computer. Now, I model. Here the term model or design. I model a computer. That is, I am designing a computer by providing input and output combinations. So that means if this is the input, this is the output to be produced. I am designing the computer in this fashion. Design the computer. Suppose if this is the input, this is the output to be produced. Now what the computer knows? So computer understands the patterns. Computer understands the patterns. That is, if this is the input we are getting, the output produced is this one. What is the relation between input and output? The patterns are understood by the computer. The patterns are understood by the computer. Now, whenever a new input is given, computer predict the output. That is, identify the output based on the patterns it already observed. Based on the patterns it already observed. I think you got the point. Here the point is, first we have some set of data. Generally in supervised learning, the data is called labeled data. The data is called labeled data. What do you mean by labeled? Label means each and every data has some name. Each and every data has some name. So we will discuss with example. Each and every data has some name. For this data, if this is the input, this is the output. I know already information. If this input occurs, this is the desired output that is to be produced. Now what human do? What human do? Here the human experts train the computer. Give the training to the computer such that if this type of input given, output should be in this type. If this type of input occurs, output should be in this type. Now automatically computer learns the mapping function. Computer learns the mapping function. The mapping function means, okay, if this is the input, this is the output to be produced. That means identify the patterns. Whenever a new input is given to the computer, based on already learned patterns, computer predict the output. So this is called supervised learning. This is called supervised learning. So see the diagrammatic representation. So here what do you mean by labeled? Here suppose what do you mean by label? For example, we have email. For example, we have emails. So emails are divided into two types. Suppose spam email, some ham email. So this is a label, that is for that particular email I have given a name. So this email comes under spam. This email comes under ham. Suppose if a word appears in the email, if a word appears, that comes under ham. If a word doesn't appear, that comes under spam. I am trying the computer in this fashion. See this one? For example, the word some bonus, any word. Suppose if the word bonus appears in the email, then automatically I decide that it is a spam email. That means I give the training to the computer in this fashion. Whenever the bonus word appears in the email, automatically that is spam. Now I am giving a new email. In the new email, if bonus appears, computer automatically treated it as spam. This is called labeled data. That is, each and every data has some labels. Each and every data has some labels. This is the supervised learning. What is the diagrammatic representation? The diagrammatic representation is, we have some set of data. Assume this is some set of data. These set of data is give to the algorithm. Here algorithm is not the set of instructions. Here some human experts, what the human expert do? He gives the input. For this input, this is the output. Simply the human expert, if this is the input, this is the output to be produced. In this fashion, the human experts design an algorithm. Design an algorithm means he model the computer. Suppose he model the computer. Whenever this is the new data, whenever new data comes, perform processing operation. Process on the new data. Process on the new data means for this new data, observe the patterns learned by the computer and produces different class. Suppose this is one class. Suppose this is another class. This is another class. Divided into 3 classes. For example, this is the diagrammatic representation of supervised learning. So only point is here the human experts acts as a teacher to guide the computer. To guide the computer. Now, based on the data, these supervised learnings are divided into 2 categories. Supervised learning are divided into 2 categories. One is classification. One problem is a classification problem. Second one is regression. Supervised learning has 2 types. One is the classification, second one is regression. Classification means if the data is a categorical data, that means after performing transformation, that is after predicting the output, if the output is a membership, class or not a membership class, if the output is, that is simply if it belongs to this particular class or not, that they are called memberships. If the output is a categorical means if it belongs or not belongs, only 2 values, categorical means, then those are called classification problems. Suppose if the input is color, suppose I have 2 classes, one is blue, second one is green. I have 2 classes. The color comes under either blue or green. Suppose if comes under blue, it is a membership. If not comes under blue, it is not membership for blue. If it comes under green, it is a membership for green class. That is exactly the input is moved to one of the classes. This is the classification problem. Regression problem is here the output is not categorical. Here the value is a real value. That is, it directly not belongs to a particular class. For example, height. Suppose weight, dollar. So generally these are not classes. For example, weight class. So 20.5, 50.5, 50.6, 50.7. We have different real values. If we have different real values, those are regression problems. We have a categorical values, those are classification problems. And some of these supervised learning algorithms are naive-based classifier, support vector vision, decision making classifier, regression, that is linear classifier, binary classifier. So we have many examples. In the later sessions we will discuss each and every algorithm with some examples. This is supervised classifier. Next we will move to unsupervised learning. This is supervised learning. Next we will move to unsupervised learning.